morning to one and all present here. I am N.RAMYA Devi working as Assistant Professor in SNS College of Engineering. Today I am going to share a small article regarding XML namespaces, DOM-based XML processing, event-oriented parsing stacks. So what are the issue in XML? So in XML there is a naming conflict because XML is an user defined tag, so that we cannot predict which data is belongs to which data. So in XML, element names are defined by the developer. So this often results in a conflict when trying to mix XML documents from different XML applications. So this XML carries HTML table information like table, TRTD, apples, bananas, and the below XML carries the information about the same table, but it is an African coffee table. So they have specified the width and height of the table. So to overcome this naming conflict, XML namespaces provide a method to avoid element name conflicts. If these XML fragments were added together, there would be a name conflict. Solving the name conflict using a prefix. Name conflicts in XML can easily be avoided using a name prefix. When using prefixes in XML, a namespace for the prefix must be defined. The namespace can be defined by an XML namespace attribute in the start tag of an element. So namespace declaration has the following syntax: XML element, XML namespace :name is equal to URL. So this is an example of a naming conflict in which we have prefixed with the name. So here the upper table has been prefixed with H and the lower table has been prefixed with F. So all the child elements of this XML is prefixed with the same name. So this is the default namespace. So defining a default namespace for an element saves us from using prefixes in all the child elements. It has the following syntax: XML NS namespace URL. This XML carries HTML table information. So next we are going to see DOM-based XML processing. DOM defines a standard for accessing and manipulating XML documents. All XML elements can be accessed through the XML DOM. The XML DOM is a standard object model for XML, a standard programming interface for XML, a platform and language independent, a W3 standard. Here it also considers the entire document is a document node. Every XML element is an XML node. The text in the XML element are text nodes. Every attribute is an attribute node, and comments are comment nodes. A parser is a piece of program that takes a physical representation of some data and converts it into an in-memory form for the program as a whole to use. Accessing and parsing the XML document in two ways. First is parsing using DOM, tree-based, and parsing using SACS, event-based. So parsing using DOM, it's a tree-based parsing. So JAX-P is a tool stands for Java API for XML processing, used for accessing and manipulating XML document in a tree-based manner. To access XML document, the document object model implementation is defined in the following packages: xml.jax.xml.parsers. The following DOM Java classes are necessary to process the XML document. The first one is the document builder factory. The second one is the document builder. So the document builder factory class creates an instance of document builder. Document builder produces a document that conforms to the DOM specification. And these are the methods and properties for processing the XML document, like the property called node name, node value, parent node, child nodes, attributes, and then the method like get element by tag name, append child and remove child, so that we can insert and remove child anywhere in the tree. So this is an overall structure of a DOM-based parser. The first one is the document builder factory. It is entering into the document builder. An XML document is given as an input to the document builder, and here the XML document is entirely converted into a tree-based structure. So next is an event-oriented parsing called SACS. So SACS stands for Simple API for XML. SACS provides a mechanism for reading data from an XML document. SACS parsers operate on each piece of the XML document sequentially. So it is a kind of event-oriented approach for parsing the XML document. SACS parser creates no parse tree but as a stream of events generated by the parser. So SACS packages, like the event-oriented package, SACS packages has two classes called SACS parser factory, and then the four handlers like content handler, DTD handler, entity resolver, and error handler and default handler. So this is the overall picture of a SACS parser. Here the XML document is given as an input to the SACS parser, and the handler handles it and defines the parsed data. So this is the difference between the DOM and the SAX. So DOM is a tree-based parsing method. SAX is an event-based parsing method. Here the entire XML document is stored in the memory before processing. Here the parsing is done by generating the sequence of events, or it calls handler function. DOM approach is useful for smaller application. For larger application, it requires large amount of memory. But SAX is useful for parsing XML document with larger amount of memory. So traversing is done in any direction. Here the top-down approach is made and used for process multiple times and used to process the document only once. Thank you.